What is the meaning of don't go in there. What is the Okay, my dear students, again I am here. So now I found a time to come and meet you. So probably out of 3 lectures, I'll come for 1 lectures, and also I'll try to Zoom in the night. Extra lectures I come. I come twice. One on the Tuesday lunchtime, one on the night. I'll announce the time later. Because I'll do the tutorials and other things. Let the Prashantan do the lectures. I will do some tutorial problems and some motivational talk and all things I'll do. So I'll do one Zoom in the night. Okay. Say hello. You can put the chat line. So I'll do. So today, again, I tell you at the beginning, I was talking a lot. Maybe I took 1 lecture, no?
No, you took
only 1 lecture. Today, now we are learning a chapter called sequence. It's a very important chapter. Chapter 2. Actually, in the exam also you get 2 questions. Big chapter. The only chapter you get 2 questions. So it's a big chapter. Actually, main chapter, because other chapter is, last chapter is called series. Maybe the series we teach only few, not many lectures, only 1 question, and also lecture also will be very less. So this is the heart of limit process. Okay, the first chapter also is not interesting because first chapter is about our playground. R plus dot. It has 3 properties. R plus dot has 3 properties. That is the algebraic properties. Other one order property, this plus dot, divide, minus, divide, you know from childhood, no? Other one order property, this one. Third one is the most important, that is completeness property. That's a new thing. Please give us some materials in the internet or get some lectures in the Hahn Academy about completeness property, supremum, infimum. There are so many lectures in the YouTube. Please listen some of them. Yeah, there are so many lectures. Maybe Prashantan send you a link. Are they in the WhatsApp?
In the WhatsApp, they are in the LMS.
So in the WhatsApp, we put the links for listen some lectures from Harvard, MIT, and all that. MIT lectures are there. So the completeness property. Okay, Monday night I will talk about completeness property separately. Not today. Today's sequence, what our agenda is, Even today, fourth year lecture, I asked what is sequence because I am teaching something called measure theory. I asked what is sequence. They didn't answer. You are also learning sequence now 2-3 weeks. What is sequence? So what is sequence? Sequence is nothing. It's an arrangement. It's an arrangement. Indexed by index number. You know index number. Indexed by n. So this is sequence. Say 1/2, 1/3. So this is your U1, U2, U3. These are the sequence. Similarly, this is also sequence. Say 1, 0, 0, 1, half, 0, 0, half, dot, say 1/n, 0, 0, 1/n. These are sequence of matrices. These are sequence of numbers. Right? So they are countable collection of members arranged by the index by the natural numbers. So what we are trying to do in our syllabus, what Prashant is teaching you, he talks about only real sequence. Sequence of real numbers. So what Prashant teaches, sequence of real numbers. So he simply a sequence A means this is sequence of real numbers. A and n belongs to n. So this n always comes. So this index, So another sequence B, Bn, n belongs to n, or Bm, m belongs to n. So what we are interested in mathematical analysis, I told you, mathematical analysis has to do with things, what is happening at the end, not at the finite level. No detail we worry about what is happening at the finite level. So we are always interested in this limit n tends to infinity an. So L means what? This is a question Prashant is doing. So he defines successfully what is limit, and then he asks you to calculate limits and justify the limit. Guess the limit and justify the limit. So our definition is useless definition because our definition is not going to help you to find limits. Our definition only helpful to know whether the guess limit is the right limit. Only verification. Only like a Supreme Court. The policeman come with putting an entry saying that this man did this criminal work. Then the judge asks them to verify this, and then he comes to the conclusion. Similarly, in the sequence also, you have to think about what is the limit you have to guess. But the definition only helps you to see whether guess limit is the right limit. So for example, let's look at the definition. The diagram. So the definition goes like this. Three things would happen. So an goes to L as n tends to infinity means roughly, intuitively. This is the mother of mathematics. Intuition is the mother of mathematics. Mathematical discovery, intuition. It has to come from inside, not from outside. Mathematics, today, the combined mathematics papers are held yesterday. Only the good students do the paper because they have something inside of them, not from the outside. There are so many people they can do. Any problem? No.
Registration number, message type attendance.
So intuition. So intuition is, here we write roughly, so rough feeling. Is feeling. The feeling love with somebody, can you explain that? Somebody loves the fair one, somebody loves the dark one, somebody loves the pop one, somebody loves the long hair one. So can't you explain that? Somebody loves the dog, somebody loves the cat, right? So it's a feeling. So rough feeling, what it says, An approaches L or tends to L as n become large. That's what it means. Infinity is not a word. As n becomes large. So the approaches is a rough statement. So A approaches L means the distance for An and L become close as we please. They can become very close. Epsilon close. Given epsilon, you can make the distance between A, N and L less than epsilon. That's what is written like this. The story is like that. The epsilon letter always like a delta letter, small thing. So given epsilon greater than naught, so you can make this one less than epsilon. That means you can make your, what is the word then? You can make your L is here, you draw epsilon cube, small cube, they 10 to the power minus 100. So all the An are distant close to. An is here, L is here. Here this is L plus epsilon. This is L minus epsilon. Right? This is L. So I put this way. So you draw a tube. So this is L plus epsilon tube. Line is L minus epsilon tube. All at the end, when n becomes large, these are inside the tube. The tube size is arbitrary small. It could be any tube. So what it says, so An and L become close as we please, then n become large. So that means for n sufficiently large. For all n sufficiently large. This is happening. So that's what he says in the Prashant would have told you. For a given epsilon cube, you can find a milepost like a, after Katnaga you get a highway. After Silabam I get my dinner place, Madambe temple. So similarly you find a milepost. I know Madambe temple when I come from Colombo in the 66 milepost. So when I see 50, my body start feeling, tasting a food toasty or something. I know which milepost. When I go to Colombo, I see somewhere Anuradhapura mango or somewhere an army restaurant, I stop and eat. So I know which milepost is coming. So here also some milepost coming. That milepost is now with the end. So when I come from Colombo, 66 milepost, I had a good place, a temple. So here you have a milepost end. After that end, this are inside the tube. So how do you write? So given epsilon greater than naught, you find a natural number, milepost. After that milepost, such that something happening, temple coming, food coming. So here, the An and L less than epsilon, for all n larger than n. So that milepost have these characteristics. It's not difficult. If you think difficult, like your English language, then it's all the time difficult. If you think batting difficult, you never bat properly. If you think bowling difficult, then you never bowl. If you think javelin difficult, then you never going to throw it. So don't think it's difficult. That's the most important thing. University, we do everything in our own settings. Okay? If you think finding girlfriend difficult, you're never going to find a girlfriend. Right? If you think easy, then you'll find more. That's also not good. Right? So you get the balance right. So here is the analysis. So here, after this definition, then Prashant would have explained you, after guessing the limit, verify the limit. So he teach you how to verify limit. For example, he would have verified. So let me do something else. So for example, what is the limit? We can guess the limit. This limit n tends to infinity say 2n plus 3 over n minus 2. So n minus 2 is maybe a problem. So n plus 1. This we know. Here 2n matters, here n matters is 2. Okay. So in the exam paper, you get a question like this. Show that, right? This question. Okay, how do you do this question? How do you do this question? We guess the limit. Okay, limit is given. Now you have to verify this limit. You have to verify this limit. So how do you verify? So if I want to show this, I had to establish this statement. I have to establish this. What is the statement? For every epsilon greater than known, even epsilon greater than known, I have to find the milepost such that the distance between 2n plus 3 and n plus 1 n minus 2 less than epsilon for all n larger than n. This is a statement I have to establish. This statement, there are 3-4 things are there. It's not easy to establish immediately. If I want to build a house, you have to get the sand, you have to get the stone, you have to get the material done, then you have to find the laborers, you have to find the engineer, you have to find so many things you have to do. If you want to build a building, if you want to even prepare good soup, you have to find vegetables, you have to find so many things, gas cooker and all this. Similarly, if you want to do this thing, you have to prepare certain things. The recipe. So the recipe is this. All the proofs goes like this. Okay? Here I have to begin 2 things. Epsilon given. You have to start like this. So how do you do? Any epsilon we have to do something. So the proof starts with let epsilon greater than known. This is the first step. Second step, I want to see whether this can be made less than epsilon. I have to find this n. I have to find n such that this is happening for all n larger than n. It's not easy. Now I am looking for this milepost. When I am coming from Colombo, I am looking for the 66 milepost. So where I find Lord Kartikeya and also my Tosakada. Right? Here what you are looking for, given epsilon, you are seeking. Looking. Seeking. Seeking what? N belongs to n, a natural number. A partner. Such that what? Seeking n such that this one. 2n plus 3 over n plus 1 minus 2 less than epsilon. You are looking for. Okay? You are looking for this number. Okay, forget about this. What I am looking for is this. The same as I can do now. So what is that? 2n plus 3. I put n plus 1 here. Minus 2 times n plus 1. Right? Less than epsilon. What I am looking for is this. So what I am looking for is this now. 2 and 2 and cancel. 3, 2 cancel. Basically 1 upon n plus 1. It's what I am looking for. It's simple because your Archimedean property says this. What is Archimedean property? Given any real number, you can find a natural number bigger than this. Okay, what does this mean? It's the same as this. N bigger than 1 upon epsilon minus 1. You take n on the other side, right? Okay, these guys are silly guys. These guys are you are not engineers, I know. So you are lazy guys. It's a problem. So what is 1 less than epsilon n plus epsilon? So it means n is larger than. Okay, I take 1 upon epsilon. So I put 1 upon epsilon less than n plus 1. I take epsilon on the other side. So n is greater than 1 upon epsilon minus 1. Okay, this can be done. Given epsilon greater than naught. Okay, after writing this, okay, now you want to convince the judge whether this kind of n can be chosen. You know, people looking for partner, they look for the horoscope, they look for the money, they look for the dowry, they look for the pretty, handsome, prettiness, and all kind of things they look for. So here, what they are looking for. So now, actually, it's possible. What is possible? To choose. Now you are choosing. N belongs to N by Archimedean property. So you make N as your subject now. You want N exactly how it should be. So by Archimedean property, choose N belongs to N such that N greater than 1 upon epsilon minus 1. Then by star we can say this mod of mod of 2m plus 3 over m plus 1 minus 2. Because when you have n bigger than this, then your n also bigger than this, then this reverse thing happens. So epsilon. When? For all n larger than n. So now done. For every epsilon greater than naught, you find n like that this happens. So you can summarize. Therefore, for every epsilon greater than naught, their axis n belongs to n such that 2n plus 3 more n plus 1 minus 2 less than epsilon. Therefore, you can say conclusion limit n tends to infinity 2n plus 3 over n plus 1 is 2. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, but in the advanced level, in the sequence, you have learned, applied some results like this. That's the properties of limit. For example, this sort of problem, okay, tutorial problem, I'll do few problems for you in the night. I'll come to Zoom. They can come, no? Easy. Online will be online. So now, properties. Simple properties, like if I say, let a limit n tends to be a and L, the limit n tends to be b and m, say, then there are nice properties. For example, first property, the lambda n goes to lambda L. Then a plus bn goes to L plus m. Right? Similarly, an or bn goes to a and bn goes to lm. Okay, then this goes to an or bn goes to L over m. Provided bn not equal to naught, m not equal to naught. These are the results. And another beautiful result, comparison result. Now I am just telling the results. To do this, what Prashant is going to teach today, every convergence sequence is a bounded sequence. You need that. Otherwise, you can't prove it. So mathematics, what is mathematics? I already told you. It's a language of science. What is science? It's an organized form of knowledge. To organize a knowledge, you need a tool. That is mathematics. So today, even to organize this, we want to introduce a concept called bounded sequence. Not introduced. So already introduced. The sequence AN is bounded means AN, what AN less than M for all N, for all N, for some N greater than naught. So now theorem, a convergence sequence means limit exists. Limit exists. Now he is using a theorem, convergence sequence is bounded. But bounded sequence need not be convergent. That's a good example is +1, -1, +1, -1 bounded, but not convergent. So these are the stories going to go. Please listen to these stories. Because there is a big demand for the mathematician in the world. Only one president to your country, one vice chancellor for university. So don't worry about those things. But there are plenty of mathematics teachers needed for the world. But not enough people are there in the world. You know, all monkeys are talking about something else. Problem solving ability they talk. They don't know what is the problem is. Okay, you are a lucky one to stay in. My son is lazy. He was telling me, Daddy, I don't want to do mathematics because I don't want to do mathematics. I don't want to be like you all the time doing problems. He was both the celebrities in the video. Yeah, I said, your choice. That's what he said. So all the time he's having a Netflix and so much of GB, looking what the American ladies are doing. Okay, so he think I am wasting my time doing some science theta plus cos theta 1. Right? So you are the lucky ones now with me. So you are more close to me than my son. It's true. He may be only interested in my money, not from my brain. You understand what I say? You only worried about my salary. Not I not worried about what I do. So you are the one who really close to me than anybody else. So I'll come. To establish this, you need this theorem. Every convergence sequence is bounded. Proof is very interesting. If you want, I can prove. So this result is very nice. I haven't put it. So An greater than Bn for all n means then limit An also bigger or equal to limit Bn. It's called comparison results. Very natural. So then that means L is bigger than M. Okay, these are natural things. To prove this thing, very simple inequality, order properties come. I'll tell you order properties today. I don't know, so many donkeys. You may be in the phone, but I don't know how many are really focusing. But telling, I'm just came here today. You know, there are so many people are waiting for me, but still I come. I know you are more important to me than anybody else in this world, including my son. Yeah, it's true. What do I do with him? He's another guy. He really want to suck the world, but not to do this. So here, A greater than B means, if you want to prove this, so A less or equal to B. Okay, L less or equal to M. If you want to prove L less than M, this is same as proving. If you want to prove this, L less or equal to M, this is same as proving L less than M plus epsilon, same as for all epsilon greater than naught. You can see yourself. If this is happened, this is happened anyway. We had plus epsilon, it became B. So if you can find L is here, M plus epsilon is here. No? This is always big means M plus epsilon, small epsilon, small epsilon, small epsilon. All are bigger than L means L should be below this. If M here and L here, so suppose L is bigger than M, you can find some epsilon naught here. This gets epsilon naught. M plus epsilon naught less than N. So this is a contradiction. So there cannot be a gap. L cannot be bigger than M. So this result will be used to prove this. So mathematics is like a building. We keep on laying the stones one by one. So whatever Prashantan says, please listen to him and do the problems. I'll come back. I'll come 2 days. At least I'll come in the nights. Right? So twice I'll come and talk like this. Okay, let you follow the notes and the lectures. Thank you very much. I am tired. I want to go for my lunch. Food to put my also in the WhatsApp group at my thing. Yeah? Then I'll progress it. Thank you, my dear children. Okay. You would have heard I was hit by the PE students. Not, no. I am strong. Last 40 years, no one hit me. Prabha, no Ratbhakti or anybody. Right? In Pansaga or anybody. I am still. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you. Hi, Bhavan. Vanakkam. Assalamu alaikum. I'll come. Prashant. Vicky. எல்லாம் முடிச்சு போட்டு வேக இங்க வந்துருப்பா இது ரெண்டு விஷயங்கள் எஸ்பிஎஸ் விஷயங்கள் இருக்கணும் மற்றது என்எஸ்எஃப் விஷயங்கள் வீட்டுல 9 மணியோட போகப்படா ஓடா எல்லாம் மாறாங்க நீ போயிட்டு வா கேட்டேன் அதுக்கு வந்து நான் சோகப்படும் விஷயம் அது ரெடியானே வா மண்ணையா போறது அது கண்டிப்பா சொல்லு ஒரு பிள்ளை என்ன பிள்ளை ஏன் பிள்ளைங்க சொல்ல மாட்டேன் இந்த பிள்ளைக்கெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை இந்த பிள்ளைய எந்த கெட்டோட அட்டாச் என்ன ஸோ ஐ டேக் இட் ஐ டெல் யூ நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் மிஸ் திஸ் கேர்ள் இஸ் அந்த லெவலில் பொருள் சொல்லவே இல்லை தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது யார் இப்படி பார்த்தாண்டு தெரியும் சரி யூ கேன் it's okay, no, let's talk about the things.
Okay, so we'll go back to our lecture notes and let's listen to what Professor Sri explained to you about sequence and everything. So I will add him in the WhatsApp group so that he will post the Zoom class link which he will be teaching somewhere in the night whenever he has time. And so that classes he will keep on explaining the important matters attached to this course, right? So he is also busy, but he will somehow manage to do it, right? So we will come back to what we are learning so far, right? So last time we talked about a proof where we show that every convergent sequence is bounded, right? So now, this is what we see, right? So convergent sequence is bounded is what we learned last time, right? So now the question is whether the other way around is true or not, right? So bounded, does that implies convergent? Right, so will boundedness implies convergent will be the next question, right? So is this true, right? So obviously this is not true, right? So this cannot happen, right? So this is not true. So where in mathematics, when you have a result like this, convergence implies boundedness, then what we do is we prove it, right? So we actually use the definition and prove that convergence implies boundedness. Now we see that, okay, we have to show that the boundedness does not implies convergence, right? So the more standard way or the common way of showing something is not true, right, is by giving an example. If we just give an example of a bounded sequence which is not convergent, then that is enough to show that boundedness does not imply convergence. So that kind of example is called counter example. So we are going to provide a so we are going to provide a counter example to show that the bounded sequence is not convergent. So it is a very simple example which we already studied. Sir also mentioned that, right? We say Xn, the sequence of minus 1 to the power n, right? So if you take this sequence, right, you all know that, right? Right, so this we proved already, right? So xn, absolute value of xn is strictly less than 2. So for all n, so we know that minus 1 to the power n is bounded. So it is a bounded sequence. But at the beginning of this section, right, when we talk about convergent sequence, right, okay, this one also we proved, right? Limit of the sequence minus 1 to the power n as n goes to infinity does not exist, right? So that also we know, right? So obviously, right? So we know that minus 1 to the power n is a sequence. It is bounded, but at the same time, it is not convergent, right? So this is a proof for boundedness does not imply convergence, right? So when you want to show something is not true, then you just need to give an example that it is not true. Otherwise, you have to prove, right? So we call it disproving boundedness implies convergence, right? So that proving and disproving and all the others you will learn in the other pure mathematics, right? So where when you learn logic, you learn this, you will learn this, but this is how you disprove something, right? So here, yesterday we proved this, now we disprove the convergence, the converse of the results by giving a counter example. Right. So next what we are going to do is we are going to look for the proofs for the properties of the convergence sequence which Sir wrote already, right? So we are going to try to look for the properties. Okay, so we are going to look for the properties. The first property is the first property is limit of xn plus a will be equal to limit of xn plus a, right? So that is, if the limit is L, limit of xn is L, then the limit of xn plus a will be a plus L, right? So where a is a real number, right? So this is one of the first properties we are going to see, which is a very simple property, right? So you want to show these results by using the definition, right? So as we usually do, we take let epsilon be positive, right? And then we will prove it by using that, right? So now you know xn goes to L as n goes to infinity, right? This is given. So you know for every epsilon positive, there exists a natural number such that xn minus L is less than epsilon for all n greater than n, right? So this is what we learn as the definition for the limit, right? The xn limit of xn is L. If and only for every epsilon positive, there exists a natural number such that this one is true, right? So now what you want is, you want to show that xn plus a minus L plus a is less than epsilon, right? So that is what you want to show. So you can say for every epsilon positive, there exists n belongs to natural number such that xn plus a minus L minus a is less than epsilon for all n greater than n. Right? So here what I do is I add and subtract an a. And so basically I don't do any change. And so when I add and subtract a inside the absolute value, it does not make change. So this line and this line are same. And so there is no difference. But here the beautiful thing is, okay, so here we have for every epsilon positive, there exists n belongs to natural number such that xn plus a minus L plus a is less than epsilon for all n greater than n. So that is what you wanted to show. Limit of this sequence is equal to L plus a. Right? So that one is pretty simple. Right? So you just do it from the definition. Right? So this is property number 1. So now the property number 2. Now multiplication. So here when you add a constant with the sequence, you add the same constant with the limit. Right? So that is what you do here. When you add a constant, you add the constant with the limit. Now here you multiply. When you multiply the sequence by a constant, it says you multiply the constant with the limit as well. Right? So now here a is a real number. Right. So now what we have to do is we have to prove this. Right. So you have to prove a times xn minus a times L is less than epsilon. That is what you wanted to show. So clearly, you know, limit is this, right? Xn is L, so that's all fine. And so now I am going to divide this into 2 cases because a is a real number. I know a can be positive, a can be negative, and a can be 0, right? So I have all possibilities in real numbers. So let me take case 1. If a is 0, right? What happens if the constant is 0? Then there is nothing to prove, right? Because limit of this is 0 and this is 0, so that's always true, right? Whenever a is 0, this result is true. Right? So result is trivial. So we call that the result is trivial because there is nothing to prove when a is 0. Right. So now when a is not equal to 0, whether it is positive or negative, we have to see this. Right. So a is non-zero. Right. So I'm going to start with epsilon be arbitrary. Now because xn or limit of xn is equal to L, right? So I know that there exists n belongs to natural number such that xn minus L is less than epsilon, right? But instead of this epsilon, I'm going to use epsilon over absolute value of A. That is still a positive number, right? Because you know that this one is a positive number. A is non-zero, so absolute value of A is obviously positive, right? So then you don't do anything. We just say epsilon is, instead of epsilon, you use epsilon over A. So now you know that you want to show A times xn minus A times L. This is what you want to find. And you want to show this is less than epsilon. Right? So if you want to show this is epsilon less than epsilon, you know this is absolute value of A. If you factor out A, you get absolute value of A and then xn minus L. But you know xn minus L is less than epsilon over A. So this is absolute value of A times epsilon over A. So now you know the reason why we choose here epsilon over A, right? In place of epsilon, the reason why we choose epsilon over A is because you have an extra A here. So if you have epsilon over A, it cancels out and it becomes epsilon. And so when you cancel this, this basically is epsilon. So what you have is this. So what you have is, because epsilon is arbitrary, for every epsilon positive, there exists a natural number such that A times xn minus L is less than epsilon for all n greater than n. Right? So you have that. So that is the second property of a sequence, right? So we have, when you multiply by a constant, you get limit multiplied by the same constant, even it is 0. And when you add a constant, the limit also, it's you add the constant. So now we are going to do the other properties, right? So I'm going to write down all the properties as a proposition. Right, so next class we will try to prove one or two of them, right? So right, so if you have two limits, right? So then there are four results, right? So xn plus yn will goes to L plus m, right? And similarly, xn minus yn will also goes to, I will put minus here so that you understand, xn plus yn and xn minus yn will all goes to xn plus by lm, L plus m and L minus m. Right? Similarly, xn times yn goes to L times m. Right? The third one, xn over yn goes to L over m, right? Provided, right? And so these are the next important properties of convergent sequences, right? So when you add two sequences, you add limits also. Right? When you subtract two sequences, you subtract the limits as well. When you multiply the two sequences, you multiply the limits. Right? When you divide a sequence by another, provided that the denominator the sequence on the denominator is non-zero for all n, right? You divide the limits as well, provided that again the denominator is non-zero, right? So denominator is non-zero is a common condition you should have when you are writing a fraction. So these results also can be proved by using the basic definition. For every epsilon positive, there exists n such that xn minus L is less than epsilon for all n greater than n. That will be the definition, and we will use the definition to prove these results, right? So those we will see on the Saturday class, right? So we will stop here and then continue on Saturday.